But you need to understand something. The power of your circle now matters. Picture this, right? A father at rock bottom, lights off, bills staggered. He don't know how he gonna pay his lawyer. Tears in his eyes. He doesn't know if he can take another day. And all suddenly, there's a knock on the door. A brother shows up. Not with the answers, not with money, but with prayer, with presence, with love. That's the kind of circle you need when you go into a situation like this. It matters. No man does life alone. You don't need a yes man. You don't need people who disappears when the light goes out. You need brothers and sisters who will get in the trenches with you. People who will say, hey man, I'll fight with you. On your knees, I'll cry with you. I'll pray with you. Your circle can make or break you and your future. Choose wisely. The Bible reminds us 2 are better than 1, for if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. You have all the answers you need. When you think about Pharaoh, right? Pharaoh isn't stronger than God, right? Pharaoh thought at one point he had all the power, which is true. He had all the army, which is true. He had the throne and control, which is true. But God gave him warning after warning after warning through Moses. But he refuses. At that point, if you realize Pharaoh wasn't as strong as he thought. So fathers, your accuser, the system, the lies, they may look like Pharaoh right now. They may look untouchable, but just like Pharaoh, their power has limits. You see, patience with God is your secret weapon. Because guess what? When God moves, the very thing holding your children back will have no choice but to let go, right? Picture this. The same way Pharaoh had to release Israel, the very people who try to change your name will one day have to let your children go. Mark my words. But in God's timing, you will see your kids again. Your prayer will not return empty. For the Bible tells us again, the Lord said to Moses, now you shall see what I will do to Pharaoh. Seriously, man. Fathers, stop performing for the crowd. Too many fathers out there performing, flashing money, bragging about status, and acting like they are in control. But all of that is smoke and mirrors. Authenticity, you see, is rare nowadays. Realness is scarce. And fathers, your kids don't need a showman. When will you realize that? They need a present man, a man who prays, a man who loves, a man who doesn't quit. Stop performing for people who doesn't care about your pain. One thing you have to realize is that when God is on your side, you already know the truth. You don't need to exhaust yourself proving it to the doubters. Please don't. The doubters, you see, will always go with the version of the story that makes them feel comfortable. Most people don't actually seek truth. They seek comfort. They go to the very story that fits the narrative that protect them from facing reality. You don't want to fall in that level. You don't. So don't waste your energy trying to convince the crowd. Save your energy for the fight that matters. Praying for your children, protecting your peace, and trusting God and his own timing. Again, the Bible tells us, for the Lord sees not as man sees. The Lord look on the heart. That's what matters. That's why as a father, you have to build a legacy and a foundation. Imagine a little boy sitting on the edge of his bed at night, whispering, "Where's my dad?" Or a young girl blowing out her birthday candles, scanning to the room, hoping her father will show up, but nothing took place. I don't know what father need to hear this, but your children writing your story in their hearts right now as we speak. And you've got to decide what that story will sound like. Will they say, "My dad gave up"? Will they say, "My dad got bitter"? Or will they say, "My dad fought for me. My dad prayed for me. My dad never stopped showing up"? That's legacy. And a legacy doesn't come from winning every battle. It comes from faithfulness, consistency, and love. You see, a good father leaves his children more than money. He leaves them with a name worth carrying. A good man leaves inheritance to his children. That's what the Bible tells us in Proverbs 13, verse 22. Being a father is one of the most significant challenges you will ever face in life. You are the foundation, and every single day there is a leak in that foundation. If we're speaking from a construction lame term, right? Some days it's your patient that cracks. Some days it's your finance that's down. Some days it's your faith. But a real father shows up with a motor of prayer, love, and consistency, patching the leaks, holding the house together, and keeping the family standing. That's what makes you a foundation builder. That's what makes you a father. And let me ask you this. How do you expect your children to make it without their father's knowledge? A father's wisdom is their compass. A father's voice is their anchor. Without it, they drift. With it, they stand. Your knowledge isn't optional. It's essential. You have to have that vision. When I think about it, I see the day your son runs into your arms again. I see your daughter looking in your eyes and saying, "Daddy, you never left me." I see court papers ruling in a fair manner. I see lies falling apart. I see the same God who split the Red Sea. Again, the same God who split the Red Sea, making a way for you. This is not the end. This is preparation for your return. You have to understand that. So therefore, don't quit, fathers. Don't you dare quit. Don't let the enemy steal your role, because no matter what the paperwork says, no matter what the lie sounds like, you are still their father. And one day, your children will know it. They'll know you never stop loving them. They'll know you never stop praying for them. And that is your victory. Stay locked in, man. Stay positive, and God will always have your back.
Tepo.